Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, as you can see, I am sitting on my throne inside of my mansion, and today we'll be reviewing Impact Wrestling for May 13th, 2021. So we have this new look. We have the mansion. We have the couch over there. We have everything set up. I wanted to change up the look for the Ryan Awesome Show. And look at me now. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it nice and closely. So yeah, man. So yeah, this is the Impact Wrestling review for May 13th, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. Overall with this show, I thought, it was okay. It was okay. It wasn't all that good. It wasn't bad. They're trying to set up towards Under Siege. They building up towards Under Siege, and they added matches to the card, to the pay-per-view, and we had some preview matches which I didn't like. I would have much rather saved the participants of the Under Siege show for Saturday instead of just having them compete tonight. That's what I would have done. But some of these matches on the show, to me, it never should have happened. Never should have happened. Some of these matches would. But yeah, I would have easily got rid of most of these matches on the show. Not all of the matches, but some of the matches never shouldn't have happened on the show. I would have gotten rid of the matches and just replaced them with other matches. And so yeah, man. So yeah, that's what I thought of the overall show. It was a decent show. So yeah, if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you hit the thumbs up first, and then you hit that subscribe button, and you turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. And so yeah, so first off, we started off the show with a one-on-one match. It was a women's match. And so yeah, it was Rosemary with Decay in her corner. That's Crazy Steve and Black Taurus versus Havok. And so yeah, this is a #1 contenders match, and the winner of that match will go on against Deonna Purrazzo at Under Siege on this Saturday. And so yeah, this is a good match, really good match. So yeah, these ladies, they were going back and forth with elbow strikes, trying to one up each other. And we had a running corner boot to Rosemary, and we had a suplex to Rosemary. And then we had, Havok, she had took control of this first portion of the match. She had locked in a camel clutch submission move to Rosemary. And so, yeah, we had a diving drop kick to Havok. So Rosemary was fighting back by hitting diving drop kicks. And then she had an exploder suplex to Havok, which was really impressive, man. Because Havok is a big lady. She is a big woman. And so, yeah, so Rosemary, she had hit an exploder suplex on Havok. And so, yeah, to follow that up, she followed it up with a spear. And then Havok, she had kicked out of the move. And so Rosemary, she tried to go for another move again on Rosemary. Another move on Havok, rather. And so Havok, to end the match, she had hit her finisher move, the Tombstone Power Driver, to Rosemary to win the match. So Havok wins the match and is the #1 contender for the Knockouts Championship at Under Siege this Saturday. And so yeah, right after that, you had Havok, she was celebrating, and you had Deonna Purrazzo, who came out of nowhere and attacked Rosemary. Not Rosemary, she attacked Havok. And so, yeah, she tried to get a one-up on Havok before their match on Saturday. And so, yeah, so Havok, she started fighting back. And so Purrazzo, she got out of the ring. She tried to leave. She tried to run away, but Rosemary, she was standing behind Purrazzo. And so Rosemary, she had brought Purrazzo back into the ring. So she threw her back into the ring. And so, yeah, Havok was still beating down Purrazzo, and so you had Kimber and Susan. They try to help Purrazzo, but Decay had scared her off. Black Taurus and Crazy Steve had scared them off. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Havok. She had hit a Tombstone Power Driver to Deonna Purrazzo, and that was it. So, yeah, so Deonna Purrazzo versus Havok is happening on Saturday for the Knockouts Championship. And my prediction for this match, oh yeah, I'm gonna be making predictions throughout the show. So my prediction for this match, Deonna Purrazzo, man. Deonna Purrazzo all the way, man. Deonna Purrazzo should never lose that championship. She's not gonna lose that championship. And having a win over Havok, man, having a win over Havok will do wonders for her. It'll make her an even stronger champion. Not only did she end it Jazz's career, but beat Havok, that's gonna make her an even stronger champion. And so yeah, that was it with that segment. That was it with the match. A really good match. And so yeah, so Under Siege is gonna be Deonna Purrazzo versus Havok, and Deonna Purrazzo is my pick. And so yeah, right after that, we had a backstage segment. We had Gia Miller. She interviews the Elite. That's the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson, Don Callis, the Invisible Hand, and Kenny, by God, Omega, who is the AEW World Champion and the Unified Impact World Champion. And so yeah, they were talking about, their opponents.
Good Brothers, after losing to Finjuice twice, it seems that you may have regained your stride after your win over Juice Robinson.
So yeah, that's Karl Anderson right there. In case you guys want to know, this is Karl Anderson. This is Doc Gallows, the Good Brothers. That's Gia Miller, who's the interviewer, who's interviewing these guys. You have Don Callis, the Invisible Hand. And right here, you have the TNA World Heavyweight Champion and the Impact World Champion and the AEW World Champion, Kenny, by God, Omega, who's wearing the championships like an armor suit. So I thought that was really nice. A great sight, great visual.
Last week, Karl Anderson, are you expecting that momentum to continue tonight in your match against David Finlay?
Gia, momentum for the Good Brothers. Was it ever really lost? Not at all. A big win for the Big LG. They call me Lieutenant Dangley for a reason. Our confidence is back, Gia.
Lieutenant Dangley
beat Juice Robinson. Tonight, the machine gun lays out David Finlay. Cleaner, what do you think about all this?
Hey, whoa. You said you didn't lose any momentum? I beg to differ. You guys lost a ton of momentum. You lost your momentum, you lost your titles. What's the reason why we got it back? What's the reason why the big man won last week? You're looking at.
So yeah, so apparently it's going to be a match later on tonight with Karl Anderson and David Finlay later on that night. And so yeah, this is Gallows had went against Juice Robinson last week. And so now this time Karl Anderson is going to go up against the other half of the tag team champions, David Finlay.
Adam, the difference maker, the game changer, the cleaner, the belt collector, Kenny Omega. What's the reason why you won last week? Me. What's the reason why you lost the 2012 G1? I wasn't there. What's the reason why I win all my big matches? You guys support me. Now it's my turn to support you. We're bringing the coach in. There ain't no way you're losing tonight. You could sign that check. It's signed, sealed, and delivered, as far as I'm concerned.
Juice Robinson, nail it in. Juice Robinson, David Finlay, Eddie Edwards. Do you know what you have started? The Good Brothers, the Big LG, the Machine Gun, and the head coach, the difference maker, the cleaner, the best bout machine, Kenny Omega, the best trios that you will ever see in the entire world.
Now they mentioned trios. Will they bring the trios titles to AEW? That's what I want to know. But this is Impact Wrestling. But I think the trios titles they're coming in. And these guys, they're gonna be one of the teams that buy after those trios titles.
Started something you're not gonna be able to finish. Too sweet.
And so yeah, that's their new hand gesture. Instead of doing this, the Too Sweet, they do this now for the Elite. They got rid of the Bullet Club hand gesture.
Action. You're not elite, don't even try.
Sorry.
Try. Yeah. It takes a long time to be a part of the elite. A lot of practice, a lot of due diligence. You ain't got it like that.
A lot of intestinal fortitude.
Yeah. A lot of metal. A lot of courage, guts, strength, speed, intensity. You lack that a little bit.
Okay, come on.
Let's get out of here. You think about that. You think long and hard about that.
Your limo's waiting.
Think long and hard about that too.
You're doing okay. Cranky.
So yeah, that was it with the segment. That was it. So yeah, it's gonna be Gallows. It's gonna be not Gallows. It's gonna be Karl Anderson versus David Finlay later on that night. A match that I didn't agree with. Never should have happened. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was a 6-way match, and the winner will be going up against Josh Alexander for the X Division Championship. So Josh Alexander is the new X Division champion, and whoever wins this 6-way match will go up against Josh Alexander at Under Siege for the X Division title. And so yeah, sort of challengers, we had Petey Williams. It was Petey Williams versus Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner, versus TJP versus Acey Romero with Larry D in his corner, versus Rohit Raju with Shera in his corner. So man, with this match, man, this is probably the best match on the show. You know, even though this match, I didn't agree with the match. You know, like when I saw it last week, when they promoted it last week, I was like, what? Like this match just came out of nowhere. Like they just made this match because the World Heavyweight Championship has the 6-way match. And so yeah, this match, it just came out of nowhere, and they just added whoever they wanted to add in this match. But yeah, this is a really great match from all 6 guys. And so yeah, but in this match, man, I could not take notes. I could not take notes at all, man, because you had so many bodies moving around. It was hard to keep up with it, but I gotten as much as I could. I wrote down as many things that I can write down. So yeah, we had, you know, everyone to start the match. You had everybody went after Acey Romero, which is a smart move because Acey Romero is the bigger guy in the match. So they took out Acey Romero in the beginning of the match. And we had a double neck breaker to Williams and Austin from Raju. And so yeah, we had a powerbomb to Williams on a ring apron from Romero. So he powerbombed Williams on a ring apron, which had to hurt. And so yeah, we had a Hurricanrana. We had a Hurricanrana to Phantasmo from TJP. So it was a nice looking one too, a smooth one. And so yeah, we had Phantasmo. This was probably the best match, the best part of the match. The best part of the match was Phantasmo. So yeah, Phantasmo, you know, he had TJP. He was working on TJP, and so yeah, he was walking on the ropes. He was walking on the top rope, and he was holding on to TJP arm. He was holding on to his arm while TJP was standing in the ring. And so yeah, he was walking on the rope like the Undertaker would, like if he would have delivered the old school. And so yeah, he was walking on a rope, and then Ace Austin tried to knock him down, and so he jumped up, and then he landed right back on the top rope. He landed right back on the top rope, so he kept his balance. So that was a nice spot. And so yeah, so Ace Austin tried to take out Phantasmo, and so Phantasmo, he had put Ace Austin in a fireman's carry position while he had TJP, while he was still holding on to TJP. And so yeah, and so right after that, you had Phantasmo. He had a fireman's carry. He had an avalanche. He had an avalanche Death Valley driver on the outside of the ring on everybody that was outside the ring. So that was the best spot in the match, man. This was awesome. The best spot in this match. And so yeah, at that point I was like, dude, how in the world did this dude pull it off? How did he pull that off? Because like a normal person probably would have botched that move and would have fell flat on their face. And so yeah, we had a running corner boot, a series of running corner boots to Petey Williams, I believe it was. It was to Petey Williams from Raju and TJP. And so yeah, we had Raju. He had a cannonball to TJP in the corner. So that explosive one to add. That man, he shot out like the speed that he got, man. He absolutely blasted TJP with that cannonball. And so yeah, we had Petey Williams. He had hit a code breaker on one of these guys, and he had followed it up with his finishing move, the Canadian Destroyer, a move that everybody likes to hit on Phantasmo. So he hit the move on Phantasmo, and so TJP, he had stopped the pin. If he wasn't there, that would have been it. And so yeah, we had an outside dive on Romero to Romero from, I believe it was from Austin. Yeah, it was from Austin. And so yeah, at one point you had Fulton and Larry D that had gotten into it. You know, Larry D, he was upset that everybody was focusing on Acey Romero. So Fulton and Larry D, they fought ringside. And so yeah, you had, Acey Romero, who got back into the ring. And so he had a pounce. He had a pounce on Raju. I love that. I love the move. I love that move from a big guy. The pounce. He had the pounce on Raju. And so yeah, so TJP, he had a detonation kick to Williams, and he tried to hit the Mamba Splash on Williams, but Williams had moved out of the way. And so you had Phantasmo like a bat out of hell, man. He came out of nowhere with a top rope splash, and so he hit the splash on TJP. And to follow that up, he followed that up with his finishing move, that front, or one of his finishing move, or his signature move, that front mat slam to Williams to win the match. So El Phantasmo, he wins the match, and it's the #1 contender for Josh Alexander's XDivision Championship at Under Siege. And so yeah, that was it with that, man. Really, really great match. Probably the best match on the show. The best match on the show for me. And so yeah, that was it with that. You know, that like Phantasmo was probably the only guy that I saw winning because you just debuted him, so you probably want to have him winning, but it's too early. To me, it's just too early. It's just too early for Phantasmo to get a championship match. That was just me. That's just me. But the right person did win this match. Phantasmo, he did win the match, and he's going up against Josh Alexander. Now, will he win? Will he beat Josh Alexander? That I don't know. I wouldn't have him beat Josh Alexander because Josh Alexander, he just won a championship. So what's gonna be the point? Like what's gonna be the point to have him lose the championship after he just won it? So I don't know how it's gonna go. It might have a screwy finish in his match. So maybe. So if I had to pick, I'm gonna have to go with Phantasmo. I might go with Phantasmo. But I want Josh Alexander to retain his title because he just won the title, and it's not gonna be fair just for you to take the championship off him after he just won it. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had a backstage segment. It was Susan and Kimberly. They spoke to Scott D'Amore. And so yeah, so it was Susan. She was backstage with Scott D'Amore, and she wasn't happy about what happened.
Okay, Susan, you asked for this meeting and you even asked for a camera. Why do you need a camera here?
Oh, you know why I need a camera here. I'm going to show you right now. Let's move all this up.
Let's maybe leave that here.
I've got the evidence on my phone right here. See this? Push play. Go ahead.
I don't think I'm
This
supposed
was
to.
my match against Tenille.
Okay. Well, let me see it.
Push play. Go ahead. You have my permission. Trust me, I am Susan. See that?
Okay.
Boom! Right there.
Yep.
Cheating.
Yeah, fair.
Cheating.
Fair point. Okay. So what are you looking for?
I want a match.
You want a match?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you versus Tenille, you can settle your differences.
No. Those
No?
two are in cahoots. I need a tag match with Kimber by my side.
Sorry, pardon?
Me and Kimber.
Okay.
So yeah, so she tried to make the match by herself. She tried to book the match for herself, and Kimberly, she is not happy about it. Like why are you making matches, man? Why are you making matches, Susan? So that's what Kimberly trying to get to.
Okay.
we haven't discussed this.
So you'll be happy. I'll give you and Kimber against Tenille and Taylor Wilde tag team match. Is that what you want?
Yes.
Okay, great. We can do that next week.
No.
No.
Susan.
Oh, okay. How about this? So how about this Saturday, Under Siege, we do the match. Does that make you happy?
I'll tolerate it.
Does that mean you'll leave?
Yes, come on. Let's go, Kimber.
Then we all win.
We didn't talk about this,
Let's
Susan.
go, Team Justice!
So yeah, that was it with that. Like they still adding matches to the show. Like they adding too many matches. Like dude, everybody does not need to be on the show. You could have easily saved it for next week. I would have saved it for next week on Impact Wrestling. But they add too many matches on these pay-per-views. But yeah, so apparently it's gonna be a tag team match. So my prediction: Tenille Dashwood, and Taylor Wilde, they'll win the match. They have to. Taylor Wilde just came back, and you're not gonna have a lose. So, and the bigger story is, Tenille Dashwood trying to find a tag team partner. So that's why they're gonna win. That's why it's obvious that Tenille Dashwood and Taylor Wilde will win. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Violent by Design. My main guys, Violent by Design, they spoke.
You may be thinking that this is broken. That our wills are broken. Our belief is not.
So yeah, that's Eric Young, the leader. That's the leader of Violent by Design. That's Diener. That's Rhino. And that big man in the back, that's Joe Doering. So yeah, these are Violent by Design.
Not 100%.
And they're like a cult.
Spirit shattered. Vision blurred. Failure can be a tricky thing. Failure
will not be tolerated. Failure must be crushed. Crushed. This is not broken. I lay in my bed at night and I'm thinking to myself, what did I do? What mistakes have we made along the way? Have I created this problem? Has Diener created this problem? Has the war machine created this problem? And the answer came to me. It's clear that the sickness is at the root.
Sickness. And that word sickness. That word is describing everybody in that locker room, the Impact locker room. They're enemies. That's who they call in the sickness. So the sickness is trying to overpower Violent by Design, and they're trying to stop the sickness from happening.
The sickness is embedded. It's everywhere. It's infecting everyone and everything. And the faster you open your eyes and realize it, the less painful that this is going to be. I see clearly. I'm starting a new plan. A better plan. A more righteous, a more violent plan. Open your eyes. The only thing in life that is guaranteed is change. Nothing is forever. Nothing is guaranteed. Nothing will be given to you. Change is the only thing we can trust. Change is trust. Violent by design. And what you can trust from here on out is you're going to be seeing a whole lot of violent by design.
So yeah, that was it. That was it from Violent by Design. So yeah, man, you will be seeing more of Violent by Design, and that is not good. That is not good for everybody in that Impact locker room. It's not good. And so yeah, that was it from Violent by Design. And so yeah, right after that, we had the Swingers Palace. Swingers Palace. Which I love, by the way.
Hey, don't fondle easy monkey,
So you got Hernandez right here. You have Johnny Swinger,
daddy.
who the palace is named after, Johnny Swinger.
Do I look okay in this outfit?
You have Alicia Edwards right here.
You look simply irresistible. Robert Palmer, he's a good kid. I trained him.
Swinger, I'm a married woman.
Yeah, well, I got a blue car.
So what does that have to do with anything?
I thought we were talking about things that didn't matter.
And these right here, these ladies right here, that's the Swingerellas, and that's Johnny E. Bravo. Johnny E. Bravo.
Swing man, what's shaking?
And right there, you have TJP, former XDivision champion.
Oh, never thought I'd see the day I lose a bet. Consider this a loan, okay? It's coming back to me. Alright, so I may have not become the #1 contender for the XDivision title, but the odds on who is the #1 contender for the tag team titles.
How about, you just fork that money on over here?
And that right there is Ace Austin, also former XDivision champion with Madman Fulton, his henchman.
Because you're looking at the #1 contenders for the tag titles, as far as I'm concerned, okay? I may not have won the XDivision match either, but the way I see it, we sit at the top of the list of tag teams around here. So give me those odds. How about that, huh? Hey, watch a chandelier, elegante.
You ready for round 2?
And that's Larry D. And that's Acey Romero. That's Triple XL. No fighting in the Swingers Palace.
Stop. Grab a hold, Danny. Get an ankle and hold it.
Hey, if anyone should be a #1 contenders for the tag team titles, it should be us. Oh, yeah.
And that right there, you have Rohit Raju right here, and you have Shera.
Listen up, dorks. I hear you talking about tag teams and championship titles. Hell, you should be talking about the Mocha Skin Manimal and the Indian Lion. We want our shot at the gold. It's about time we get what we deserve. Huh? Oh, yes, exactly. Wait, hey, what do you say, huh? Hey, what are you going to tell him? No, I don't think so.
I mean, I might have something to tell him now. Oh, yeah. I think so. I think I do. Yeah, you look hot.
Come on now. Let's take this outside match. Let's take this outside match.
Dino, go talk to that big fat Tony and try to get this match made, all right, Daddy?
Hey, what do you got to say? Hey! None of you guys are going to be the #1 contenders as long as I have the right partner.
And that partner was Petey Williams. So this is Petey Williams.
Oh. Pinoy pump. I think we found it. Everywhere I go.
Like you can't escape.
Show up. Okay, wait. Check this out. Why don't you give us the odds on our chances of winning if we're in that match? Odds? What would I know about odds?
Oh yeah, I already know where this is going. He's gonna try to dress up as Scott Steiner. He's gonna wear his costume or his wrestling gear as Scott Steiner. He's gonna do the math like he did the last time they were in the Swingers Palace.
But I think I know somebody that does.
What's going on, Mamarella? You want to hear about the odds?
What's up with those guys? You don't have to holler. They heard you.
Oh wow. A reference towards Scott Steiner. And so yeah, that was it with that. That was it with the Swingers Palace. And yeah. So apparently they want to fight after the tag team titles, but none of them are legit tag teams. None of them except for Triple XL. But Triple XL, they jobbers. They are jobbers. They've been losing time and time again. So yeah, so they're gonna be vying after the tag team titles. I guess that's good. But then again, they don't have no tag teams in Impact. All you have are the Good Brothers and Finjuice and Triple XL. Those are the only legit tag teams on Impact Wrestling. And so yeah, I guess they're trying to make up the tag team division. But yeah, so that was it with that. And so yeah, and they made it into a match too. They made it into a match, a triple threat or something like that, a triple threat tag team match. Triple threat tag team match or something like that it was. Let me see. So yeah, it was gonna be a Impact Tag Team Title #1 Contenders match. So this is gonna be Ace Austin and Madman Fulton versus TJP and Petey Williams versus Triple XL versus Rohit, Raju, and Shera. And so yeah, whoever wins will be going up against Finjuice or whoever are the tag team champions. So I'm going with TJP. I might go with TJP and Petey Williams. Might just go with them. And so yeah, that was it with that. So yeah, right after that, we had a match. It was a one-on-one match. It was Sam Beale versus Willie Mack. And so yeah, this was a squash match, enhancement match. But Sam Beale, he did get some offense in the match. And so yeah, we had a standing moonsault to Beale, and then Beale, he had fought back with chops. And so yeah, Mack, he had chopped Beale back. And so yeah, we had knee strikes to Mack, and we had a clothesline that absolutely leveled this guy. So yeah, he had a clothesline to Beale. And so yeah, we had a pop-up forearm to Beale, and to end the match, we had Willie Mack. He went to the top rope and hit a frog splash to Sam Beale to win the match. So Willie Mack, he wins the match, and right after the match, you had W. Morrissey, the former Big Cass. He took out Willie Mack. He gave him a big boot, and he stood over his broken body. And so that was it with that. So yeah, so it's gonna be a match between W. Morrissey and Willie Mack. I'm going with W. Morrissey to win the match because he just made his debut, and you want him to win. You want him to be dominant. So W. Morrissey will be getting the win. And so yeah, right after that, we had Gia Miller. She interviewed Finjuice, the Impact Tag Team Champions, David Finlay and Juice Robinson, and Eddie Edwards. So yeah, she interviewed these guys.
David Finlay, in just a few moments, you will be stepping into the ring with Karl Anderson, knowing that last week.
So yeah, that's David Finlay, that's Juice Robinson, Finjuice, and that's Eddie Edwards.
Kenny and the Good Brothers left you guys lying. What are your thoughts going into this?
My thoughts are that the Good Brothers and Kenny handled that like absolute cowards. The Good Brothers know that on their best day, they cannot beat us. We've proved that. We have the proof of that right here with the Impact World Tag Team Champions. But tonight it's not about that. Tonight it's about myself and Karl Anderson going one-on-one. And I'm going to prove for the third time that I am the better professional wrestler.
You damn right you are, and Gia, you know we beat them to get these, we beat them to keep these, and tonight it's going to be even from Jump Street. Tonight we got Eddie Edwards from square one.
So yeah, so it's gonna be all three of these guys versus Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers at Under Siege, and so I'm going with Kenny Omega's team to win the match.
Guys, I'm proud to be here with you. heard what Kenny said. You know, Kenny said that last week I tried to help and it didn't work. We got left laying. And the fact is, Kenny was the difference. He said that, and I admit, Kenny is the difference. So on that note, we're gonna have a Kenny of our own.
The kendo stick they call us Kenny. And so yeah, that was it with that. That was it with the interview. And so yeah, so later that night it was David Finlay versus Karl Anderson, a match that I didn't agree with, never should have happened. And so yeah, right after that we had Tenille, Dashwood, and Kaleb in their talk show. It's All About Me, the name of the show.
Tenille, I need to talk to you. Kind of jumped the gun there, a little awkward, but I'm a pro. We'll work with it. So please welcome your host, Taylor Wilde. Yeah, you
It's your first time?
Yeah. Yes, it's the first time. But I understand you're very excited. I can tell why.
She must have heard the good news.
That we'll be teaming on Saturday under siege against Susan and Kimberly.
Oh yeah, that's verified.
See, that's not actually why I'm here. I just saw my match from last week where you cheated. That's not how I roll. I'm not really hearing a question in there, but if you had a problem, we could have just had a FaceTime. That's cool. But the thing is, I don't have your number. We're not friends. Give her my number.
Okay, it's area code 305.
Well, not,
Oh, don't do that.
Yeah, just like airdrop her or something.
I got you.
Yeah, we can get on
We'll
like
do
a
that.
group
Oh,
chat,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah, okay. That'd be good. I appreciate it. I do. Look, I'll team with you at Under Siege, but I'm only doing it, let it be known, to get one step closer to my ultimate goal. Knockouts Tag Team Champions.
Tag champs.
Yes. No. Look, guys, no matter what happens at Under Siege, just know we're not friends. We're not a tag team.
Hashtag awkward.
Caleb, is it just me, or is that not a question still?
No, I mean, she's gonna be a
The
good
host
partner,
was
but
supposed to ask me questions.
yeah, not a good host.
Oh my
Not a
gosh,
good host.
not a good host, but yeah,
We'll do better
I think
next
should
time.
be all right as a partner. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me on All About Me, the show that is the best show in the world.
So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, still trying to get her to be. They still want to be friends. They trying to recruit Taylor Wilde, but Taylor Wilde, she says no, she doesn't want to be friends with Dashwood, but they teaming up at Under Siege. And the only reason why she's doing it is to go after the Impact Knockouts Championship. And so, but Tenille Dashwood, she wants to go after the Knockouts Tag Team Championships. And so, yeah, that was it with the segment. And again, Tenille Dashwood and Taylor Wilde, they will win the match because the story is just the bigger story in the match. Tenille Dashwood just trying to find a partner. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had a match. It was a one-on-one match, and it was Karl Anderson with Doc Gallows in his corner, and Don Callis in his corner, and Kenny by God Omega in his corner, versus David Finlay, who is one half of the Impact Tag Team Champions, with Juice Robinson, who is the other half of the Tag Team Champions, and Eddie Edwards. And so, yeah, with this match, I really did not care about this match. Did not care about the match. The match never should have happened. It's just the fact that they're opponents at Under Siege, and so even though it's a six-way match, you still giving away parts of the match, and it's one-on-one match, and so that's why I really didn't care about the match. Did not care about it. And so yeah, we had Gallows and Omega. They had tripped up Finlay behind the referee's back, and then you had Edwards and Robinson. They did the same thing to Karl Anderson. So yeah, in this match you had a lot of interferences in this match too, and so Gallows, he had to attack Finlay outside the ring, so the referee didn't see it. And so, yeah, you had Anderson. He had took control of the match. And we had a belly-to-back suplex to Anderson to create some space between the two. And so Omega and Callis, they tried to trip up Finlay again. But Finlay had dove on Omega and Gallows because he got tired of them getting involved in the match. And so, yeah, we had an Irish Curse backbreaker to Anderson. And he kicked out of the move. And we had a modified Indian Deathlock submission move to Anderson. But Kenny Omega, he had gotten a ring and interfered in the match. So David Finlay, he had won the match by disqualification. And so, yeah, and a brawl had broke out between all these guys, and Finjuice and Edwards, they had got the better of the brawl. So Eddie Edwards and Finjuice, they had took out the Elite, and that was it. And so yeah, that was it with that. Really did not care about the match. Did not care about the match. And so yeah, right after that we had Chris Sabin. Chris Sabin, he had spoke. He had spoke about Moose. Yeah, he had spoke about Moose, saying that, you know, he was disappointed, you know, that Moose had took out James Storm in his match last week, saying that, you know, you already won the match. Like, why did you have to take out James Storm? And, you know, he was talking about the fact that, you know, James Storm was in my corner when I qualified for the match, but I wasn't in his corner. And the reason why, because James Storm, he didn't want me in his corner. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And he was just mad. He was just pissed off at Moose for what he did to James Storm. And so, yeah, that was it from Chris Sabin. And so they were just hyping up their 6-way tag match, or their 6-man tag team match, another match that never should have happened on the show. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Jordynne Grace, who is one half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions, and Rachel Ellering, who is the other half of the Impact Knockouts Tag Team Champions. And so they had spoke. Yeah, because they had showed a video earlier before the segment that Tasha Steelz had beat Jordynne Grace on that pre-show that they had before Impact, a show that I don't watch. And so yeah. So Tasha Steelz, she had beat Jordynne Grace by a distraction on that pre-show. And so yeah, so Jordynne Grace, she had something she wanted to say about it. She wasn't happy.
This loss against Tasha was upsetting, to say the very least. I'm disappointed. This wasn't the momentum I wanted going into Under Siege, but this is the momentum we have, right?
Hey, Jordan, there's nothing we can do about that now. I understand being frustrated and angry. I get it. It's one of the things I love about you. You care so much. But in the same way we won these at Rebellion, we've got to bring that energy this Saturday. So take the anger, be mad, right? But bottle all that up and then bust that bottle on them at Under Siege. Okay?
I can do that.
You can do that. Of course you can.
And so yeah, that was it with the segment between Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering. And so they're hyping each other up for their match, for their tag team match against Fire and Flavor, which is on Saturday on Under Siege. So I'm going with Rachel Ellering. Going with Rachel Ellering and Jordynne Grace to retain their titles, because it's not going to make any sense to have Fire and Flavor lose those, you know, have Fire and Flavor win the titles right after they lost the titles. So Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering, they will win the match. So Jordynne Grace could get a revenge on Fire and Flavor. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match. And it was Brian Myers, the most professional wrestler, Brian Myers, versus Crazy Steve with Decay in his corner. So that's Rosemary and Black Taurus. While Rosemary was still out there, I don't know. She just got power driven on her head by Havok. So yeah, so to start the match, we had Steve. He had bit Myers on the fingers. And so yeah, so we had a neck twist to Myers. So Steve, he had took control of the early part of the match. And so yeah, so we had Myers, he had rolled out of the ring, and you know, he tried to run away, he tried to retreat, but Black Taurus had came from behind him. He was standing behind Myers, and so Myers saw this, he turned around and looked at Black Taurus, and he just fell to the ground. So he was pretending as if Black Taurus had pushed him to the ground, but he didn't push him to the ground. And so the referee had turned around and saw that Brian Myers was on the ground and Black Taurus was standing over him. And so the referee thought that Taurus had took out Brian Myers, and so the referee had kicked out Black Taurus away from ringside. And so yeah, the referee had sent Black Taurus to the back. And so yeah, Myers, he took control of that match, took control of this match. And so yeah, he had a suplex, he had a beautiful suplex to Steve, Brian Myers did. And to end the match, we had Brian Myers, he had rolled up Crazy Steve while using the ropes. So he used the ropes as leverage to win the match. So Brian Myers, he cheated to win the match. So Brian Myers wins the match. And right after the match, you know, Brian Myers, instead of getting out of the ring, he stayed in the ring to celebrate. And so I would have just, if I would have got like a sneaky win like that, I would have just left the ring. I would have left the ring after that sneaky win. But he stood in the ring and celebrated his victory. And so right from behind, you had Black Taurus. He had risen up. Yeah, risen up like he risen up from the grave. He risen up behind Brian Myers and he just speared him into oblivion. And so, and that was it. So that was it. So they stood over Brian Myers. Decay did. And so with this, like I still don't know. I really don't know why are they fighting. Why are they fighting? What is their problem with Brian Myers? What is their problem with Brian Myers? Because they started it with Brian Myers. I don't know what their deal is with Brian Myers. I don't know. Like they never explained it. Like what are they fighting for? Why are they fighting? That's the question. Why are they fighting? So we don't even know. And so yeah, man, that was it with that. Really, I really was confused about this. And so yeah, right after that, you had Gia Miller. She interviews the Invisible Hand, Don Callis.
Excuse me, Don. I just wanted to get your reaction after what happened earlier.
You like a reaction? Well, how about an observation? I mean, this is what happens when the inmates run the asylum. You can't let professional wrestlers just run amok and do whatever they want. They're like animals. I mean, you got to corral them. No pun intended.
Scott Demore.
Hey, you know, it's funny you're talking about corralling the inmates and such, because, you know, it'd be great if maybe there was some extra guards or wardens kind of like joining in, like, hey, EVP, maybe you could, you know, talk on the phone other than to your friends, or maybe like pitch in around here might help the situation.
I thought we agreed I don't have to interact with any of the talent. You know, I don't really have anything in common with them. That's more your area.
Well, you know, you don't interact with talent because that seems odd to me, because I think last week I saw you playing your little games there with Moose, trying to play the mental games, get in his head as you... Yeah, mentoring, yeah. Which leads directly to him making a decision.
And so, yeah, what Scott Demore was talking about, you know, Don Callis getting in Moose head last week, which caused Moose to take out James Storm to injure him. So that's what Scott Demore was referring to.
Like what happened last week where he took out James Storm. So now we don't have Storm. He's gone indefinitely because of your little fun and games there trying to protect your boy Omega.
In my defense, I thought we agreed we want to get rid of him anyway. So, I mean, look,
wow.
I'm trying to put a fire under him. He's a big star. I mean, come on, what's wrong?
Don't play the Carney games right now. Like, just look, decide what you want to do. Okay. You're Omega's, you know, family, or you're an Impact exec. Figure out which one you like. I mean, and just let us know.
You know what, I think what we have here is an example of why we should communicate.
Yeah, so Don Callis, he had to choose a side, whether he's Impact Wrestling or AEW, because he's been showing up on AEW. It seems like him and Gallows and Anderson are the only ones from Impact showing up on Dynamite. So Scott Demore wants him to choose, like, are you Impact or are you AEW? Because, you know, he's an EVP. He's an EVP in Impact Wrestling, and he's also managing Kenny Omega. And he shows up on Dynamite cheering on Kenny Omega. And so, yeah.
We should do some Zoom calls.
Answering your phone would
should do some Zoom calls.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a new number.
Yeah.
But Zoom calls, we should talk more, because when we're on the same page, Golden Bookers, I mean, the sky's the limit. We know that.
Yeah, absolutely. But maybe a good start would be if we were just even in the same frickin' book.
You okay? I hope you're not upset by that.
So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah. So yeah, is he with AEW or was he with Impact Wrestling? And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the main event. And it was a six-way tag, a six-man tag, or whatever you want to call it. Another match that never should have happened on the show. You know, although still a great match, but never should have happened on the show, because you just gave away the match. You gave away the freaking match. But yeah, you had Moose, Chris Bay, and Sami Callihan versus Matt Cardona, Trey Miguel, and Chris Sabin. And so yeah, so yeah, we had a flapjack to Bay from Cardona. We had an assisted senton bomb to Bay from Miguel and Cardona. And so we had a big boot to Miguel from Moose. And so the heels, they had took control of the match during a commercial break, no picture-in-picture. And so we had body blows to Miguel from Bay. And we had double clotheslines to, you know, Callihan and Miguel. They had took each other out with clotheslines, so they're both knocked out. And we had a hot tag to Cardona. He took out the heels. He took out Moose and Chris Bay. And he had a broski boot to Chris Bay. And so, yeah, we had a super kick to Moose from Cardona and Sabin, so they hit a double super kick. And so yeah, so all these guys, they were going back and forth with their moves. And we had a spine buster to Sabin from Bay. I love the spine buster, man. And so yeah, so everyone, they were hitting each other with their signature moves and everything. And so we had a Death Valley driver, a wicked Death Valley driver to Trey Miguel from Sami Callihan. And to end the match, we had Sami Callihan. He hit his power driver, his package power driver, that wicked package power driver to Sabin to win the match. So Sami Callihan, Moose, and Chris Bay, they win the match. And that was it. That was it. You know, although a great match, but the match never should have happened. Like they're fighting like their opponents at Under Siege. Like, why are they competing 2 days before us? 2 days before a pay-per-view. Why are they fighting? Why are they still on the show? Like, dude, this show should have been for somebody, like, for the people that wasn't booked for Under Siege. That's what this show should have been. But you have the challenge, not the challenges. You have the people the participants of Under Siege. You have them competing. You have them competing on Impact Wrestling right before a pay-per-view. Like, why are you doing that? Have them rest before their match on Saturday. But yeah, man, that was it with the main event. You know, good match, great match, but never would have booked the match. Never would have booked the match. But yeah, overall, man, it was a decent show. It was an okay show. Not really much happened besides the Under Siege matches that were added. Nothing big happened. The best match on the show for me was that 6-way match with the XDivision division. And, you know, El Phantasmo winning the match to go up against Josh Alexander. That's the only big thing that happened because it was a great match. Probably the best match on the show. But yeah, man, that was it with Impact Wrestling, man. And so, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, and a 6-way match, who will win the 6-way match? Either, I'm going with Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan will win that 6-way match. He will win that 6-way match, and he's going to go up against Omega. I think he might show up on Dynamite. That's what I'm thinking. He might show up on Dynamite. That's just me. Will he go after Omega at Double or Nothing? I don't know. I mean, like, will he invade Double or Nothing? Probably not. But that's what I'll do. I'll have him invade AEW Dynamite, whether it's Double or Nothing or just on AEW Dynamite. I would have Sami Callihan invade AEW. But yeah, man. So yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, yep. So yeah, that was it with Impact Wrestling. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You hit the thumbs up. You subscribe to the channel. You turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. And follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And yeah, man, and comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this episode of Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on Saturday. I'll see you guys on Saturday for Under Siege. I'll see you guys on Saturday for Under Siege, and I'll see you guys on Sunday for WrestleMania Backlash, which another pay-per-view that came out of nowhere. And so yeah, so I'll be back on Saturday and I'll be back on Sunday for both of those shows, and I will be watching it and I will be reviewing those shows. So make sure you check them out. And so yeah, man. And if you missed my last week's episode or my last week's review for Impact Wrestling, the video is gonna be right up here. Either gonna be right up here or right up here. It's gonna be somewhere on this page. It's gonna be somewhere on the screen. But yeah, man. So yeah, this has been Ryan Awesome reviewing Impact Wrestling on the Ryan Awesome Show in my mansion, my beautiful mansion. And yeah, man. Once again, guys, thank you for the support, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you, man. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.